Those of us in existing lease terms currently were asked to sign an addendum for an additional increase if in fact rent stabilization expired on our unit, which it has since we're exempt. So those increases are going into effect December 1st, 2024. We need help retroactively to the July passing of CB 55, and perhaps this bill is the way to get that done. Please help protect all seniors in age-restricted properties.
I would like to clarify for the record, the October 22nd staff report includes a clerical error that states the association negotiated a 15% cap for new construction during the rent stabilization work group process. The association never committed to this. We urge the record to be corrected. For these reasons, we urge the council to table this bill until these issues can be resolved.
Madam Chair.
I'm going to abstain from this bill. This is not something that was included in the work group's recommendation.
This amendment would just add the language around that all units exempt from the rent stabilization rate would not be able to gouge rents above 15% of the base rent.
The issue that I had with that is I think that we're starting to get into a more complicated issue, and it's something that I think requires a separate bill. The idea of it sounds good, but in this bill, we've done so much, and I think that we need to have that be a clean bill for a separate time. So I would vote no on the amendment.
I vote yes, and I'll just briefly say, I remember during the debate around this bill that Councilmember Oriadha was asked to do a separate bill specific to price gouging, and that's what's before us now. The reality is that if your unit was built after the year 2000, you have no protections whatsoever.
Thank you for the residents that came and spoke today. We tried very hard to include all seniors in that legislation, to not carve out. Originally, we tried to keep every person that was currently a renter. My next thing was to negotiate at least to protect all of the seniors. And it failed because, as you see, there's so many people on this body that don't believe, as I do, in protecting our senior population. They asked for this compromise. It was negotiated into the bill last year, and then it was stripped on the dais last minute. And I was asked to move this bill separately with the support of many that are voting no today or abstaining, asking me to do it. I pledge not to make any changes, to move it forward separately, because as we know, we're leaving so many people unprotected. I take issue with AOBA again, simply lying, disingenuous as an organization. I'll make sure to clip exactly when they said and gave a presentation around rent gouging and the number being in the range of 15 to 20%, and calls with other members asking for that instead, which why this is a compromise legislation. But to all the renters and the community, remember this day, because people get up here and they promise things to you, they promise things to the community, they pretend to support and stand in line, but we keep on talking about what we can't afford. We cannot afford to pay people's rent. We cannot afford an unhoused population. We cannot afford to fund properly social services and family services in this county. We know that. So regulating costs so that people can at least stay in their homes and businesses can still make a profit is a reasonable compromise. But too many people get too many checks from too many people to vote that way. But I vote aye.